Hello everyone, today I'll be showing some different ways I like to make my gold in Wrath of the Lich King. And this is going to be the first episode in this series. Alright, so as every single class you can head to Wintergrasp, and in this zone you can find this location where you can farm crystallized fire. When you have 10 of these, you can turn them into an eternal fire, and this material usually sells for anywhere between 20 to 30 gold. Because you farm these in the open world, then there will sometimes be PvP, but also competition. An easy way to fix this is to try and change your layer. So if you're in a guild and you have a player with another layer, then you can get invited and hopefully find a location where there's no competition. And if you're an engineer, then you can also increase the gold that you make, simply by using your mode extractor at these clouds. And like it wasn't enough, then at this area you can also mine different nodes and increase the gold that you make. Now that I'm already covering Eternals, then I would also like to highlight the Eternal Life that you can farm in Wintergrasp. At the western part you can farm them right here, and this material is needed for many different crafts. One particular item, the Darkmoon card. When you craft this item as a scriber, you get different cards, and some of these cards sell for anywhere between 500 and all the way up to around 2,000 to 3,000 gold. It's an easy way to flip gold, and therefore Eternal Life is sometimes also really expensive. We are talking about 30 to 50 gold each. For those of you who have leveled up mining, then I would highly recommend you to, for example, farm Mithril, but you can also go to Burning Crusade content and farm Fell Iron or Adamantite. If you prefer to stick to Northrend content, well, then there's 3 zones I like to do. The first zone that I usually farm in is Shodosar Basin, and this is the route that I follow. I also like to farm in Icecrown, and when I do this, then I follow this map. And whenever there's too much competition in both of these zones, well, then I head to Storm Peaks. And in Storm Peaks, I usually go with this route. But like I mentioned, sometimes it might be better to just go back to Vanilla or Burning Crusade content. There's usually less competition, and sometimes the ores and bars even sell for more. In Storm Peaks, you can go to this area as an engineer and make quite a good amount of gold every single hour. On top of this, you can also farm the Relic of Uldur, and these usually sells for anywhere between 2 to 3 gold each. So whenever you kill these, you have a chance to get the Relic of Uldur. But as an engineer, you can also disassemble these. And by doing this, you have a chance to get different engineering materials. These materials sell for quite a good, so when you add together this with the Relic of Uldur, then you can make quite a good amount of gold. If you're mainly interested in farming the Relic of Uldur, then in Storm Peaks there's 2 really good spots for farming these. There's even a nearby cave you can also head to in case there's competition or you're waiting for respawns. But in case you play a tank class or you have really good gear, then you could always head to Halls of Stone or Halls of Lightning. In these 2 dungeons you can also farm the Relic of Uldur without any competition. So when I say no competition, then what it means is that you should be able to solo some of these dungeons. Many different tank classes can do this, and even mages and some of the other ones. In the beginning of the video, I was talking about the Eternal Fire and how this can be a good gold making method. These you can also farm here in Storm Peaks. Head into this cave and find these creatures who has a chance to drop the crystallized fire. When I clear this cave, I usually get 1 to 2 Eternal Fire. Then I head back to the entrance and the monsters should also have respawned. In Icecrown, there's an easy way to make gold and level up your character at the same time. At this area, you will find creatures that is stacked together. So if you need to AoE level your character, then you can do it at this location as well. You can also do it at level 80 and still make a ton of gold. The reason why this is one of my most favorite areas is because these creatures drop a lot of cloth, but also has a high chance of dropping different green items. So these you can either sell to enchanters or disenchant yourself. Another big benefit of this farm is that there's so many creatures right here, so you never have any downtime where you have to wait for respawns, even if you're competing against 1 to 2 other players. Earlier in the video, I also talked about farming Eternal Life for the Darkmoon cards. This you can even do when you level up your character when you head into Northrend. So at level 68 you can even head to this area. In Howling Fjord you can find these creatures, and these has a chance to drop the crystallized life. And if you have leveled up your herbalism, then you can also use it right here to increase the gold that you make. Overall, there are so many different ways to make gold in Wrath of the Lich King, for example by investing or farming other things. Some of these things I'll be sharing in the next couple of episodes, and if you would like to get notified when I post these videos, then make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. As always, thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day. Peace!